and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind. Talking about Justin Bieber.
Hello out there. We're on the air. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I just realized that we don't have any music playing, or do we? Yes, we do. Just couldn't hear it. Top of the morning to you folks. This one is titled 8 Months to Bitcoin Sovereignty, the Digital Homestead Blueprint. And this is going to be one to bookmark. This is going to be a very informative show today. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek here before we get too far into things. Where did that go now? Where did that go? Right here. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to be talking about today. Engineering a generational legacy, building and securing the digital homestead. Oh, I'm excited for this one today. So yes, we're going to go through a couple different things here. First, we're going to start the show like we usually do, and then we're going to get into things today. So we'll try to keep it as tight as possible because there's a lot of info in here. I want to get through it as quickly as possible. And it's going to be kind of a mixture of the first episode number 0 of this new course we're doing, the Digital Homestead course, and a mixture of the normal show. So let's get to her. We're going to be engineering a generational legacy. I might have a song even to play. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet or not because I don't really want to get the video banned, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I'll just kind of go make it up on the fly. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see. We got a lot of people on Rumble today. We got 36 people over there right now. 36. And let's see how many of those fine folks have pressed the thumbs up. We are on Rumble. We are on YouTube. And we're on Nostr, of course. We love us some Nostr here. So we got 35 people. We got 15 thumbs up. That's pretty piss poor, I would say. We can do better. So that's what we got in store today. It's going to be a really good little presentation I'm going to give to you. It's going to give you a lot of different things to think about. And I'm guessing at the end of this, I'm hoping at the end of this course, you're going to take some action in some direction. Because I feel like there's a lot of Bitcoiners out there right now, probably in this chat, watching it later, who are a little bit too focused on the fiat exchange rate of Bitcoin. A little too focused on what Bitcoin is going to be worth in 6 months from now. A little too focused on the quantums, the BlackRocks, the governments, the sailors, when they should, more than anything else right now, understand what they're holding, understand how powerful that is, understand how much freedom that allows you if you do it properly. Bitcoin's a tool. It's available to anybody out there. It's a completely voluntary network, much different than the one we're used to. And there are many people out there who own Bitcoin. They have a claim to Bitcoin, but they're not really seeing the bigger picture here. They're not seeing the potential of this. And they're not taking things seriously enough. And I think it's going to come back and bite a lot of people in the ass. So we're going to go through 6 questions today. That's what I had on the thumbnail today. The big 6 questions. We're going to go through 6 questions here. You got to answer them honestly. And then you can get a feel for kind of where you are, I guess. Because wherever you want to go, you got to start with where you are. And I'm thinking after we go through these questions here, there's going to be a lot of people going like this or scratching their heads saying, what do I do? So we're going to go through them. That's going to be the value today for everybody here today. So who's here? Look at this. We got Sketchucation first in the chat. Even beat our guy Praetorian today. Good morning, Rich. Cheers to you, man. First in the chat. We got Praetorian here. Says, good morning, Jor, and all you wonderful visionaries. Good morning, Praetorian. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here today. And I was glad to see you posted some videos on the on your YouTube channel today. Sats and Sunsets is here. We got the Guardian and we got the Smith. And Peacemaker says, good morning, beautiful community. Amen to that. Peacemaker 88, I should say. Can't forget that part. Peacemaker 88, good morning. Ginger Motorsports. Ginger Motorsports. Is he on YouTube? Looks like it. I'm sure he'll show up over here in the Rumble soon. But good to see you, Ginger. Captain's here. The captain himself is in the house. Captain 173. Good morning. Jake's here. Jake 21 Ats. Good morning. Good morning. Chuck with another salute. We're saluting all. Good morning, Chuck. Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you for a few days here. Tony, C86. Tony with Soren Bobby Orr as a profile pic. Love to see that. Good morning, Tony. Is that the Tony that I know? Could be. J-Dog's here. Says, good morning, team. Good morning, J-Dog. Lauren's here. Good morning, Lauren. Look at that nice face. Lauren Stern in the house, folks. Eatable Zebra. Stripes. Good morning. Strat. Good morning. Lazy Eyewitness. Quack. Whack, 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 whack. The Ducks. Everybody loves the Ducks. How could you not love the Ducks? Praetorian. We got Sven. We got Virals off 2026. We're going to get this fella out of here ASAP as possible. How do I ban people? Can I ban? Should be able to ban. Aflu Ralph. Good morning. It's a new face in the chat. Peacemaker 88 says, what a beautiful vision. Zuzan's back on Rumble today. Zuzan, nice to see you this morning. Everybody's liking the Ducks. Zuzan says, this is a concerning issue. Thoughts? Let's see if I can open it up here. What's Zuzan concerned about today? Oh, it's called the channel's called Crypto Tips. Is that the one we looked at a couple weeks ago? Crypto Tips? Let's see. I think so. Yeah, it looks like they're having they're talking about the Coinbase concentration, the BitBuy hack, hardware wallets, Ledger, the Ledger data breach. Yeah, I mean, if you're using a Ledger still, I don't really know what to tell you. If you're still using a Ledger, you're either brand new here or you don't value my opinion at all. Ledger's absolute trash. I'd probably rather have no Bitcoin. I shouldn't say that. I take things to the limits. You know what I mean? I take things to the exaggeration limits. I was going to say I'd rather have no Bitcoin than Bitcoin on Ledger, but that's not true. At least you got a chance of having something. I really feel for the people out there with zero Bitcoin right now, zero sats. But the crazy thing, and kind of what we're going to be talking about today during the show, is there's a lot of people out there, probably some watching this stream right now, who are going to wake up in 10 years from now with a different story to tell. They're going to have a story of, damn, back in 2026, I had a bunch of Satoshis, but I didn't really take it seriously enough, so I lost them all. And I got about 1/1000th of what I would have otherwise had. And it's going to be a sad story to tell, but I know everybody's not going to be there. And kind of the point of today's show is to really take a good look in the mirror and say, okay, do I just have a Ledger or a cold card or something? I think that what would the percentage of this be? Bitcoiners, you got one of these things. You got a cold card. You took time. You did a little bit of research. You found the cold card was the best tool for the job. And then you put your Bitcoin on here, or not your Bitcoin, but your private key was generated from this. This is where your private key is being stored. And then you keep your 12 words right beside it. You keep your 12 words right beside your cold card, which totally defeats the whole purpose of this thing. But the other issue there is not a physical wrench attack. It's your physical location. If you get your cold card or your ledger or your treasure or your passport or your jade, and you have your 12 words in the same location, and something happens to that location, you're toast. So this whole course we're going to be talking about today, this is episode 0. But this whole course is designed so that you don't have to worry about that anymore. And one of the 6 questions is kind of relates to that. But you're going to be in a better position in the sense of you're going to have your keys geographically distributed. Most people will be in a multi-sig by the end of this year, the people who are going through this course. Not everybody will. You're going to have the knowledge to do it if you want to. But more than anything else, keeping it very simple is you're going to have your risk spread out. You're going to remove your single point of failure. That's kind of what it is. And so the whole course itself is designed to be very simple. Very simple. Anybody could do everything that we're going to do. That's the whole thing here. I mean, you can go as far down as many rabbit holes as you want to in Bitcoin, especially security. You can make your setup as complicated as possible. You can. Anybody can do it. But it's kind of stupid to do that. That's what I found. I've been through kind of the whole journey here where I didn't know what I was doing. I was keeping my cold card and my 12 words right beside each other in the same house, to like, holy shit, I really screwed up there. I need to go to the limit here. I need to make this as complicated as possible because I don't want anybody to steal my Bitcoin. And I've recently kind of came back a little bit and said, okay, the main point here is that we need to keep this as simple and robust as possible. So that's the idea with this. We want to keep everything as simple as possible. But simple can be scary if you don't do it properly. Most people kind of have a simple setup because that's what they want. But you can still add different elements to it that make them much more robust. And that's what this whole thing is going to be about today. So I would say whatever Crypto Tips is saying there, there's probably some valid concerns in there, but with 20 minutes of knowledge, you can figure out how to get around it. Or 8 months. Because that's the other thing too, is like, I feel like most people who have one of these, they might have watched a YouTube video on how to set it up. And they probably did it. They probably set it up properly. They probably got the keys generated. They probably wrote down the words properly. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. But that's like one 1/1000th of what you need to know. So it takes time. It's not something you can watch an hour video and have everything solved. It's not something that you can pay somebody tens of thousands of dollars to solve for you. It's a very long process. And Bitcoiners, for the most part, have a very low time preference, which means that they understand that things take time. There's no shortcuts. And so that's what this kind of course is designed around. It's 8 months for the rest of the year, 2026. And because it has to be done properly. It's important stuff. It's really the only thing that matters financially. Economically, Bitcoin is the only thing that matters. And you have to secure that properly. Otherwise, none of it matters. Kev's here. Kev's liking the ducks. They're therapeutic. Praetorian says lead solves against those wrench attacks. Yeah, I mean, lead for sure. That's kind of like the easy solution. Well, easy and not so easy for some people. But you can also spread them out properly. And that's kind of the idea with this. That's the idea with this course, is that you want to get all your Bitcoin away from you. Everything to do with Bitcoin should not be at your house. All of your Bitcoin stuff should not be at your house. They should be geographically distributed in different physical locations. That's how you solve against a wrench attack. And wrench attacks, I would say, are going to be like 5% of the attacks going forward. The majority of attacks are going to be social engineering attacks and hacks, and using Claude to design a virus that gets into your computer, gets all your information, extracts that from you, and use it against you. That's the real thing. Nobody's going to come to your house. Somebody's going to attack you from the other side of the ocean. And because you're vulnerable, because you don't really know what you're doing yet, we're all kind of going through that. But And even so, even if you think about the social engineering attacks, you want to make it as difficult as possible for you to access your Bitcoin. Your main stack, you can keep like 5 or 10% of your stack at your house, but the rest of it should be difficult for you to access, and therefore very difficult for anybody else to access. J-Dog says, just came into my lounge wondering what my dog was losing his mind at, the Ducks. Yeah, I had mine on too today, and I could tell Arnie was perked up. I thought maybe we should turn down the volume a little bit on the show, so that's not a big of a risk. Okay, so I'm going to just fly through these comments here. Joshua, the king himself, is here. Says, good morning, Rumble. Like left. How about y'all? Good question. Let's check. Let's check it out here. We got 40 people over in Rumble today. Record crowds. No, not even half. Listen to Joshua, folks. Take it from him. Sats and Sunsets, what's he up to? He gifted a membership to Aflu Ralph. Nice. Thank you, Sats and Sunsets. The Smith coming in hot today. Okay, Sats and Sunsets. One Memby on the board. Thank you, Sats and Sunsets, and congratulations to Aflu. Good name. Vic says, is this a webcam outside your house, Joe, or you just flip the camera around? No, it's just a random stream on YouTube. I wish I had that right outside my house. Although it ain't bad. It ain't bad. It's pretty cloudy here today. It's actually really cold. You can kind of see there's still snow, a little bit of snow, ice. It's May. Like, what are we doing here? Well, it's probably the 3 different carbon taxes we're paying here. It must be finally working. They stopped global warming, so now we're going to have an ice age and be broke. We're going to be completely broke in an ice age. Well, we're not, but most people are. Matt FRL is in the house. He says, quack. Good morning, Matt. Sats and Sunsets. Need some sleep today. Catch you all tomorrow. Okay. Have a good snooze. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the Memby. Thanks for the Memby for a flu. Karam's here. Karam 101. Good evening to you. Bitcoin education. Good morning. Kachok's here. Good morning, Kachok. Tony says, finally able to catch the show live. Soren Bobby Orr, what a tool Bitcoin is. No doubt. No doubt. Marco's here. Marco is in the house. Salute to you, my friend. Tony says, yep, it's me. Okay, I thought so. Morning, Tony. Paulo, good morning. Is this where freedom lives? This is where freedom lives. No doubt about that. Paulie's here. Head voice. Happy belated, Lauren. Hey, it's somebody else's birthday today in the chat. I didn't see him yet, though. I didn't see him. Where is Buck52? It's his birthday today, I think. That's what my calendar says. But good to see you, Paulie. Kev Keith, Rednecks Rise Up. Good morning, Kev Keith. Nav says the bull market is back. Is it really? Haven't even looked. We got bigger things than the price of Bitcoin. Bigger things, bigger fish to fry, some might even say. Jenny's here. Hands off my sat. Says, good morning. Is this the right place to find a slew of rednecks? Wow, we're at 81,000. Shit. Well, we got 46,000 to go before Thunderstruck plays, so we got a ways. We're scratching and crawling, I guess. Good to see you, Jenny. Lifetime membership or a cold card? Which first? Depends what you're doing now. Depends what you got it on now. Cold card is the best, but you could have your Bitcoin on a cold card and still really mess things up. So knowledge always comes first, but that's a different story. Zuzan says, more of a physical concern, maybe a stretch, but what if cold card vendor I purchased gets hacked and now the bad guys know where I live? Yeah, it's a definite threat. And part of this course is going to be some technical stuff. It's going to be like, what makes Bitcoin so valuable, increase your conviction. But it's also going to be things like this, where, hey, maybe you shouldn't be ordering Bitcoin products to your house? And if you have, and it's been leaked, what can you do? What are your options? Like a big part of this course is going to be a focus on sovereignty. There's going to be no number to go up discussion. Well, we're going to set a few goals right off the hop, kind of based on what we think it's going to do. But there's going to be information on how to be more private, more sovereign, more free. Because that's really what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin, the number go up, gets people in the door, but you got to be a little bit more than that. You got to go deeper. VHF's here. Good morning, VHF. 0x007AD. You can request CoinKite delete your delivery address. I think they automatically do after 6 months. That's what I've been told. Can't verify that. But yeah. Ledger, if you have a Ledger or you've purchased a Ledger before, they definitely have your address and it's definitely been leaked multiple times. So Ledger owners should be quite concerned about that. Caribre. Good morning. VHF selling this morning. Nice. Not a boy. +1 on the B-Day there, Jor. What do you mean, +1? What do you mean +1? You got a birthday today too? It's currently on a Jade Classic. Well, you're probably fine. Has it ever been, have the keys ever been leaked or anything? Do you have a passphrase on it? Do you have the passphrase in your words in a separate location from your house? Because if you have that, I mean, you're in a good spot. Obviously, you want to get a cold card one day, but there's things you can do. After the house sells, hackers will no longer have my address. Yeah, that's probably the play. That's probably the play. Okay, let's get to the mempool today. Actually, what the hell am I doing? We didn't even check on Zapstream yet. Zapstream, I'm sorry. I got a lot going on today. What's going on over there? We got a great crew over there on Noster today. Sats and Sunsets. What do you call it when a duck sleeps with his goose friend's wife? Duck, cuck, goose. What do you call it when a duck sleeps with his goose friend's wife? Duck, cuck, goose. That's a good one. Sats and Sunsets. Letha the icon is here today. She zapped a shot of espresso. Thank you, Letha. It's great to see you this morning. Monkey Rides Bikes zapped 88. Says quack. Good morning, Monkey Rides Bikes. Duncan, the D and DCA is here today. And he zapped 3691, a Tesla there. Tesla +1. Thank you, Duncan. The D and DCA. Joshua, the King, said, morning, Noster. Armbar twice for the OGs to this channel. Yes, no doubt about that. Big bark for Joshua, the King. With a Josh zap today to start the show. Thank you, Josh. Duncan said, I love ducks, but 17 minutes of quacking is effing annoying. Yeah, good call. Good call. We'll try to keep it short going forward. We'll try to keep it short. But I was doing some prep today. Prep for the presentation. Conrad with a 963 Conrad zap, reverse Tesla. Thank you, Conrad. Says, good morning, everyone. And we got Moravian. Moravian is back in the chat today with a double shot of espresso to start the morning right. Says, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Moravian, and it's great to see you, man. Thank you. David T's back. David T in the house with 420. Says, good morning, visionaries, and another 420, double 420. David T's buzzing this morning. Thank you, David T. Look at that, Kachok's birthday. Happy birthday, Kachok. Should we sing him happy birthday? Happy birthday to you, hey. Happy birthday to you, ho. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to Kachok, hey, ho. There you go. There you go, man. It'd be my birthday today, Jor. Well, happy birthday, man. Joshua says, Susan, that happened to me already. I bought a ledger back in the day and the e-com provided got hacked. Now I'm at risk for a home invasion. I'm getting the vault so that I'll keep my corn safe. Geographically spread out and inheritance for my daughters. There you go. There's a guy with a plan. There's a guy that everybody here should be jealous of. If you got any sort of Bitcoin right now, that's where you want to be. Geographically dispersed, inheritance plan in place so that all your work, everything that you've done in your life can be transferred on. Imagine that feeling. Imagine the feeling of spending your whole life working, converting it into Bitcoin, the greatest asset in human history, taking all this time, watching all these podcasts, all these shows, and then not setting up your inheritance properly, and that just is gone. Some people are okay with it. Some people actually want their keys to be burned, but anybody with daughters or sons or hoping to have daughters and sons one day, you don't want it to be gone. So kind of at the end of this course, we're going to start the course with a very basic inheritance plan that everybody's going to be able to do, just to basically be like, okay, if something happens to me unexpectedly, I don't plan on dying in the next year, but if it does, this is what you do. Very simple. That's how we're going to start the course. By the end of it, we're going to have a much more robust setup, including different locations, a passphrase, and a full document that you can leave with somebody without having to trust anybody. And then if you want to take it one step further, you go like Josh and you get the vault kind of after the course. But that's where we are. That's what we got. Praetorian, look at this. Karoom. Is it Karoom or Karam? A Membi from Praetorian. Thank you, Praetorian. Thank you, Praetorian. When I was putting this course together, there's a section of it called The Forge, where we talk about all the different tools. We're going to get into it in a second here, but it reminded me of Praetorian, because that's kind of what he does for a job. He's in the heat, forging. Matt, good morning. He's on Rumble too. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Never listen to someone with no children in regards to the future. They have nothing invested. True, yeah. Not everybody can have kids, though. You got to keep that in mind. You got to be empathetic to it. There's a lot of people out there who really wish that they could have kids, but unfortunately cannot. Okay, let's get to her here, folks. There you go. There you go. Let's kick things off here. Let's get to her. Let me bring this up. We're just going to should we do the mempool? Yeah, we have to do the mempool. We'll do it real quick. A quick dip in the pool. We'll go for a real quick dip in the pool. See what's going on there. We already saw the prices buzzing. Okay. The mempool today. We are currently at the block out. We've crossed another 1,000 blocks. We're in the 948s, 948,039 blocks since the Genesis, January 3rd, 2009. The winner of the last block was Antpool. If you wanted to get into that block, you only needed 0.24 of a sat, also known as 24 microsats. So they got 1.4 million sats in their transaction fees there. How are we looking for the difficulty today? This one makes more sense today. We're 11 blocks ahead. See, yesterday we were 3 blocks behind, and this percentage here was higher. Didn't make any sense. Something must have been broken. But this makes a lot more sense. We're 11 blocks ahead. And so we are 2.2% upwards, looking like. But we got lots of time left. 10 days. We've had 2 previous difficulty downwards adjustments, so we're probably due for one to go up here. But like I said, lots of time. Lots of time before that happens. Let's check the time chain. The Timmy time chain. Jenny makes a great point here. Just because someone doesn't have kids doesn't mean they haven't invested a significant amount in the lives of others, including kids. You know, I watched, this is definitely off track from the mempool and the time chain. But I watched a video last night about, actually yesterday, if you haven't had a chance to watch a show yet with Brandon yesterday, I highly recommend it. We're going to be talking more about this stuff. It's fascinating to me. But something came across my Instagram feed last night about Michael Jackson. Speaking of that, it kind of reminded me of this. Because Michael Jackson, I listened to like 4 or 5 different speeches from him last night, like award acceptance speeches, different interviews that he had. And it's just amazing to me how much we were lied to about Michael Jackson and how good of a person he was. He basically, the interview that I watched basically said that he had his childhood stolen from him. He never got to be a kid. It was always work. It was always discipline. It was always get better. It was always practice. And so he never had time to be a kid. He didn't get his childhood. And so he basically spent the rest of his life doing everything that he could to help kids, to save kids, to protect kids from the evils of the world that he knew better than anybody else. And then he gets labeled as a child rapist. That's how sick our society is. That shit like that is able to happen and just kind of life goes on. The amount of money and time that Michael Jackson put into helping and protecting children, probably more than anybody else in history. And he's labeled as a child rapist. And that's how most people think about him now. I really hope more than anything is that the real story of Michael Jackson eventually reaches the masses. But at the same time, does it really matter? Does it really matter what some dipshit thinks about Michael Jackson? Probably not. But it's just not right to me. So anyways, I really hope that the truth comes out one day about Michael Jackson and how amazing a person he was, incredible a person he was. And it's just crazy to me that he gets labeled as like the exact opposite of that. But that's just a reflection of society. It's like they're the biggest projectors. Whatever they're guilty of, they accuse everybody else of. And that's what fiat has allowed to happen because they have the money printer. So they can parrot whatever message they want. They can essentially brainwash people into thinking whatever they want them to think. Fiat enables that. And it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. There he is right there, the birthday boy, $1.52. True or false, is it your birthday today? It was in my calendar today as your birthday. Lauren said, I sent my 12 words in a cold card to Jor for Arnie to watch over for me. They're safe. They are safe. Kachuk says, for the wishes, may your sats be stacked and UTXOs never dust. Good man. Good man. But this is absolutely true, Jenny. Praetorian says, amen, Jenny. True, Jenny. Agreed, Jen. If someone invests in children, even though they don't have kids, they have a dog in the fight in regards to the future. Sailor's got no kids. I don't know. I'm still kind of back and forth on that. He says he doesn't. I don't know. Why would he lie about it? I don't know. Protect them. Sailor's going to be the richest man on the planet in time. He already is. The world just hasn't caught up to that yet. God knows the truth about his life. We know who's, yeah, that's the thing is like, it's crazy. They've managed to kind of take all the good ones. They've managed to take all the good ones. And I don't think there's a kind of where I started this conversation was the chat I had with Brandon yesterday. There's no bigger example of that than Jesus himself. They take the good ones. Anybody who's going against the Anybody who's spreading love and hope for the future, they wipe out, or exposing them. So who do you got? You got the most famous one for sure, Jesus. You got Michael Jackson. You got JFK, you'd probably put in there, I'd say. I don't know for sure, but my heart tells me that that's the case. JFK was in there. Who else? Paul Walker, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Avicii. Avicii was a big one. He was trying to expose some things. Who did I miss? There's a lot. Socrates, yep, good call. Good call. You are correct. Happy birthday, Buck52. Happy birthday, Buck52, 55. It's a good birthday. Josh says, I saw that Michael Jackson movie in the theater right now. Should go check it out. Yeah, I wonder what that would be about. Oh, yes, Princess Di. Princess Diana, great call, Josh. Forgot about her. Didn't go along with the Queen's agenda. Charlie Kirk, yep. Nikola Tesla, yep. Makes you wonder. Makes you think. Plastic's here. Good morning, Plastic. We're in a deep chat here right before we get into the main part of the show today. Okay, so we are, like we said, at the block height of 948,039 now. And Pool picked up the last one. For their troubles, they got the subsidy, 3.125, the fixed amount. They got the transaction fees, 1.3 million. And the total reward, subsidy plus fees, total reward, 3.1389. So shout out to Ant Pool. Ant pool. Imagine a pool with a bunch of ants in it. Ugh, yuck. Ants are gross. Especially, well, they're not gross, but they're, I don't know, especially red ants. They're dangerous. Kev said, I did as well. I liked the movie. Wow. Okay, so we got some MJ fans in here. So not only like was Michael Jackson like such a good person, like probably one of the best people, truly. You'd have a hard time finding a better person than Michael Jackson. So not only was he like very, very good person with a good message that nobody allowed him to share, he just got too close. He got too close to the truth, too close to spreading love and kindness, and they got rid of him. But not only that, probably the most talented human to ever walk the earth. Between his voice abilities and his dancing abilities. But I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Like you look at old clips of Michael Jackson and how the kids reacted to him. Because kids are the biggest seekers of truth. There's no filter at all. There's no rigid edges with kids. There's nothing that stops them from just being pure. Purity, that's what it is. That's the word I was looking for. And kids just like were, wow, how we just went through 3 blocks there in like a minute. But you look at videos of Michael Jackson with kids and he was just like a magnet to them. And that says more than anything else to me. Look at this. We had, it's just 2 blocks, I guess. So we had 3-8, 4-0, and 4-1 in the last couple minutes here. So yeah, what a guy, man. Okay, the exchange rate today, 1230 sats. You got $1. You got 1 unit of illusion, 1 unit of trash, 1 unit of the worst money in human history. You can trade that for 1,230 units of sovereignty, units of freedom, unit of absolute scarcity, units of energy, units of the best money humans have ever had before. By far, not even close. So you can trade one of those units of the worst money we've ever had, not even close, for the best money we've ever had. It's a pretty good trade. We call that one the deal of a lifetime, my friends. And that's where we are. Even though the price is up a little bit, that's still an incredible deal. Princess Di didn't go along with the Queen's agenda. Yes. Oh, I got that one already. Jenny says, I don't know about Princess Di. I think the Queen did some things she may have been forced to do. I think the queen actually liked Di and was peeved with her son. But she can't really take out her son, right? She would have been the what would you call it? The ricochet. Bobo Makua says, "What's up, y'all? Viva Tejas." I don't know what that means, but it sounds fun. What's going on here, Bobo? What you got? Happy birthday to Kachuk and to Buck 52. The boys, everybody's got a birthday today. May 5th. Good day. Boy, could Michael Jackson dance, no doubt. Super talent. Probably the most talented to walk the earth, I'd say. Bit Billy's here. Bit Billy T8M. Good morning, Bit Billy. Good to see you, man. Her son was on Poozagate Island, right? Whose son? Oh, the queen? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. Who is her son? Andrew? Who's Di married to? Was it Andrew? No. Buck 52 says orange pilled a young financial advisor yesterday by accident. Tell us more. Micah, I'm in Toronto. Micah. I'm in Toronto at the Ontario Skills Competition that my daughter's entered in. Sorry to miss the show today. Don't say anything about Bitcoin or mining. They're so behind. It's going to be a good show today, Micah. So if you can't watch it live, make sure you check it out after. Spanish for long live Texas. Okay, well, we got Charles, we got Andrews. Okay, so both of them were, I guess. My favorite dessert place by my house got shut down. I blame Fiat for it. Took all my first dates there. I mean, that's the agenda. That's the agenda we're fighting against right now is the nobody owns a small business. Nobody is allowed to travel. Nobody is allowed to own a vehicle that's operated by themselves. Nobody is allowed to teach their kids. Nobody is allowed to have any fun, really. That's really what it boils down to. They don't want anybody having fun. So what are we going to do? We're going to have as much fucking fun as we possibly can. Strictly to spite them. Okay, we got a few super chats here over on Rumble. What's going on here? Jenny says, is this the right place for Taco Tuesday and Cinco? Oh, I might have some tacos today. I had a margarita too. I had a cutwater margarita, but I think it got drank. Damn. I almost want to drive. Like the closest taco place to me would be like an hour and a half from here. It almost makes me want to drive and have tacos. What you just said there, Jenny. Jenny says, Arnie barked 12 times to send me Lauren's Bitcoin. So Jenny with 2 fivers there, 2 5s. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, let's get to this. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be one that you want to bookmark and keep for later. Hopefully come back to a couple times. Hopefully join us on the journey. But I understand that not everybody's going to be able to. That's okay. But there's going to be a lot that will. Lots that are. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. We got 3696. What's this? Who's this from? Ready for the homestead. Who sent that? 3696. I don't know who that was. We had 3691 from Duncan. And we had, look at this. Jenny, I missed you. Jenny sent one 2 hours ago before the show even started, an hour before the show time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jenny, the legendary. The legend. Thank you, Jenny. And Maria 5K too. I missed this one. Maria. Enjoyed the show yesterday with Brandon. Nice. No, she said from Maria 5K. I really enjoyed your show yesterday with Brandon. Good. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate the feedback. We're going to be doing that every Monday, hopefully. I already got some ideas for next week. I love Brandon, man. He's such a good guy. Such a good dude. God, I want tequila. I want tacos. I want it all. And I can't get it. Oh, it is Tuesday today. Damn. Man, you guys are really killing me here. They're gonna try to stop us from having fun. Too bad. We're gonna resist. Exactly. Bobo gets it. Praetorian says, sign me up for a California burrito. What do you guys like better? I kind of like both, but what do you like better? Soft shell, hard shell? Okay, before I start the presentation today, it's not even a presentation, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very informative, but we should salt up. Oh, that was karma. Oh, imagine taking a straight shot of this. God, this is a good song. One of my favorite recent songs. You're Dangerous, Tyler Braden. I want to hear this again. Restart. That was karma. That was karma for me trying to be funny. Okay. Kev likes soft. I'm a hard guy. Beans over on Nostr says, looking forward to tacos tonight. You fricks, man. Quit talking about it, please. I got shit to do here. Bobo says, remember, 5 May is not the celebration of Mexico's forming. It's where they had a small city beat back the French army. They had a small city beat back the French army. So I'm guessing you mean the French tried to take over Mexico and they fought back. Is that what you mean? Duncan says, can you do Uber Eats, Johar? Yeah. I can do Uber Eats. It would just be $500. Buck52 says he was looking at some stock charts for me, trap money, talking about money, and asked about Bitcoin. Went through all the facts about Bitcoin. I advised him to get 1 million sats on a cold wallet. Good man. Good man. Kev says, pause, no Diddy. Oh, we got some soft in the house today. Okay. That's kind of surprising to me. I like soft shell too, but hard's the way to go. Yeah, you can get a million sats and a cold card for less than $1,000. Not here. It'd be like $2,000. But in America, yeah, you're probably right. Of course, you're a hard guy. Tell that to Fanny and the Shaft. I got to use a shaft right now, actually. I could use a shaft right now. And for those who don't know, of course, a shaft is a drink. It's a shot of espresso, shot of vodka. I put a little bit of caramel, a little bit more Irish whiskey, and then cream or milk. That's a shaft, not what you're thinking about. Okay. Jenny gets too close to her first million sats. She seems to give them away to Jor or Jerry. Okay, we got to get going here, folks. We got to get into this. Quit messing with me. Egg rolls and duck sauce. Oh, God, that sounds good. Okay. D-Max. He must be cold up there. It's cold here today. It's May the 5th is usually a lot nicer than this, but we pay a lot of carbon tax here in Canada, and so they're able to kind of control the weather that way. They're able to control the weather and make it really cold because we pay 3 different carbon taxes. It's -3 here right now. Feels like -8. What are we doing? Honestly, what are we doing? Okay, what's Stuart up to here? Good morning, Stuart. Hey, Jor, if you classify yourself as an investor, do you invest in anything but Bitcoin? I just did a show on this last week, actually. Stuart Love, good name. I basically said, like, if you have like a sufficient stack of Bitcoin, and that's going to be different for everybody, right? I'd say like a baby boomer, somebody who's like 60 plus, you got to have at least one coin. You have to have at least one Bitcoin. You have enough capital that you've accrued through your life, enough value that you've provided to the world and got in exchange for other things, that you got to get to one whole coin. No questions asked. Hopefully 2 or 3 if you plan on like using them in your retirement, but you got to get to one. Somebody who's like millennial, Gen X, you should try to get to one. You should try to get to one. Do your best. Don't listen to the bullshit videos that are like, you only need 0.1 Bitcoin to retire. You might, but you can't count on that. You should try to get to one. Don't just go for the bare minimum in life. And if you're like 20 years old, if you're a Gen Z, man, you need like not that much. You want to keep working. If somebody was Gen X and they had like, or sorry, Gen Z. If you're Gen Z and you had like half a Bitcoin, you're definitely going to be retired within the next decade. You're not going to have to worry about anything ever again. But if you have that, so that's kind of like my question for like satisfaction. But if you're satisfied with your stack, then you can start looking at other things. Not other cryptos, not Ethereum, not Solana, not strategy. I mean, if you got capital tied up in the system, strategy is a really good option. Or stretch, depending on what your timeline is. 6 months stretch, beyond that, strategy. But I'm talking like land. Like you really want to increase your freedom more than anything else. So that could be like investing in yourself. That could be investing in land with like running water and a garden, and investing in food, filling your freezers full of meat. That could be investing in the first investment you should make, though, is like making sure that your security is bulletproof, because otherwise it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin you have. And so kind of my threshold for like how much security do you need? There's no real number, but I'd say like 5% of your stack. So if you got one Bitcoin, you should be spending at least 5 million sats on security. Or let's say that let's say Bitcoin's $100,000 and you got one Bitcoin. You should be investing at least $5,000 to secure your Bitcoin properly. And not just secure it properly, but make sure that your kids can access it or your spouse can access it. And that's what we're going to be talking about right now. So let's go to that. Otherwise, I'm just going to be going through shit here the whole time. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through this, and then we're going to we'll save some questions for after. Bean says digital and physical homestead. Exactly. So you're not buying other cryptos, you're not buying other stocks, you're not buying gold, you're not buying silver, you're not buying anything else. Bitcoin's what you need. Bitcoin's the fastest horse. It's the best we've ever had. But you want to start doing things in the physical world. So that could be investing in yourself. That could be buying some land. Enjoying your life. Really. Like that's a big part of this course here that we're going to be talking about is like the focus on that. On enjoying yourself. Because fuck, we're here for such a short amount of time. We're here for such a short amount of time. And people are just like, I don't know, man. It's wild. And I'm guilty of myself all the time. But, we're always waiting for something. We're always waiting for Bitcoin to hit 1 million. Or we're waiting to get a pay increase. Or we're waiting to sell our house. Or we're waiting to go to heaven before we can start enjoying ourselves. But like, we're here. This is what it's all about. My version of the kingdom of heaven is right here on earth. It's probably going to piss some people off, but that's how I see it. Because what else do you have? What else are you guaranteed to have other than right this second? Nothing. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't. So you have to definitely think about your future. You have to prepare for it. But the only thing that's guaranteed is sitting right in front of you this second. That's it. That's all there is. I don't buy anything else. I don't buy the promise of something else in the future. And that's the other thing too. Like, keep in mind here that when Bitcoin hits 1 million, not if, but when Bitcoin hits 1 million, assuming it stays decentralized and secure, let's say it's 10 years from now. You're going to be 10 years older. Your kids are going to be 10 years older. Your parents are going to be 10 years older. Your cat's going to be 10 years older or gone. Your dog's going to be 10 years older or gone. Is that what you really want? Is that going to be like a real exciting time for you? Money's not everything. It's just it's a tool. So you got to keep that straight. And I guess with that, we should get into the Digital Homestead course here. So let's go through what we're going to talk about. This is going to be episode 0. Episode 0 of the Digital Homestead course. So a pretty simple agenda today. Just like this course. I want to make this course as simple as possible. I'm sure you've all heard this before. KISS. Most people would say, keep it simple, stupid. But I disagree. I say, keep it stupid, simple. Because again, you can go down as many rabbit holes as you want. You could pay as much money as you want to, but you got to keep it simple. And so everything that we talk about this course, whether it's security, inheritance, privacy, sovereignty, earning more income, whatever it is, we're going to keep it as stupid simple as possible. That's the whole idea here. That's the whole concept. So just like that, the agenda here is we're going to go through the W's here, the who, the what, the where, the when, and the how. I guess the W/H I should put. We're going to talk about the big 6 questions. So 6 questions every Bitcoiner needs to ask themselves. And then we're going to do some Q&A. So I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat here as I go through this because I got to be dialed in here. But we're going to save some time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions about this course, if you have any questions about what we're talking about here or anything else, we'll go through it all after. And if you're watching this after, I'm going to have everything that I talk about in the pinned comments below, or you can shoot me an email to 88sats@proton.me if you have any specific questions. But other than that, we're going to get right to her here. Where is my email address? Right there. So let's get to who. Who's this course going to be for? I mean, the real obvious answer, and I'm actually going to put this in number 2. The real obvious answer here is someone with a bunch of Bitcoin and limited knowledge. So I think that this is, again, the most obvious one here, somebody who's invested a lot into Bitcoin, allocated a lot of their capital and savings and livelihood into Bitcoin. That's who this is going to be for, but they don't really know what they're doing yet. Maybe it's on Coinbase, maybe it's on River, maybe it's in a Bitcoin ETF because they're kind of scared to take custody of it because they don't know what they're doing yet. So this is going to be an 8-month course, right? It's not going to be a 1-week crash course. This is going to be a course with a very low time preference here. So 8 months. It's going to be constant repetition. It's going to be focusing on the right things, the core of the issue, and building a solid foundation. Because again, you are a first generation Bitcoiner, and that's kind of what this whole course was inspired by. You are a first generation Bitcoiner, and so it's kind of up to you. Good or bad, blessing or curse, whatever you want to call it, it is up to you. So this is kind of like the most obvious one here. I'd say somebody else who's just like considering a large allocation, maybe you've kind of dabbled and you have like zero knowledge of Bitcoin. This course is still going to be extremely beneficial to you. But the most important one here, this is who's you might not think would be taking this course or who should be taking this course, but it's actually someone who already has a decent setup, but losing a bit of sleep. Obviously, they got some significant allocation. They might have invested already into some security. Maybe they got a couple cold cards. Maybe they even got a multi-sig. Maybe they had somebody help them. They paid somebody thousands of dollars to help them set this up. They're running a node. I'm sure you know, maybe what I'm talking about here. But you're still just not quite sure whether it's safe. You're just not quite sure if you're missing something here. And this is the most dangerous one here. This is why I put this one as number one, because this is the most dangerous one. The people who kind of think that they know everything, but they're in the back of their mind, they're like, what am I missing here? I want to make sure that there's zero leaks. There's zero cracks in my foundation here. So that's who this is going to be for. The first generation Bitcoiners probably have a significant allocation. The total cost of this course is kind of laughable to me, but it's the first time we're doing it. So 2026, it's the pilot one. 2027 is probably going to be double, triple, or more to join this course. So the total cost of this is going to be less than $200. Less than $200. It's $21 a month. It's going to go up after, I don't know when, sometime between today and next Tuesday, it's going to start going up. And every 5 members that join, we're going to keep bumping it up. But right now, you can join and it's going to be less than $200 because it's $21 a month. And there are 8 months left in the year. I'm pretty sure that's less than $200. Yeah, because 10 months would be $210. So it's less than $200. And I'm going to be talking about this probably several times, but I'm going to make sure that you don't miss this. But it's pretty simple to find. School.com/88sats. So again, we're going to be talking about who this is for, how we're going to do it, when it is, where it is, all this stuff. And then at the end of it, we're going to be going through a 6-part, six questions here that everybody needs to be asking themselves. Everybody, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much Bitcoin you have. I don't care how much knowledge you have. You got to go through these 6 questions and be very honest with yourself. So that's what we're going to do right after this. So who? That's who it is. That's who this is for. Not for everybody, but kind of my general rule of thumb is a 5% allocation to your security. And the cool thing is, like, you do it once, right? This isn't like the traditional system where you pay like 2% a year or 1% a year, whatever it is. This is going to be like a one-time investment. That's what this course is. It's not an expense, it's an investment. But you should be allocating at least 5% of your stack to your security. Otherwise, it's going to be worth nothing anyways. This is kind of minimum, 5%. So with that in mind, I mean, if you got, I don't know what the math is on that, but based on the course costing less than $200, then probably if you have more than $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, would it be? Yeah. Then this course is going to be for you. If you got less than that, go buy more Bitcoin. Go buy more Bitcoin, come back next year. Okay, so here it is. What is it? So this is all the tangibles. I was thinking through this last night. What's somebody going through this course going to get? Well, by the end of it, this is by December 31st, 2026. So we got a very hard deadline on it all. But you're going to have a multi-sig, which again, going back to what we've been talking about here in the show today, multi-sig where you have no single point of failure. That's kind of the key there. No single point of failure. So you want to have your private keys, which is really the key to your Bitcoin. You want to have those geographically dispersed in different locations, physical locations. I think one of the biggest mistakes that Bitcoiners have is they've bought one of these. They bought a cold card. And this thing comes with this. And I love CoinKite. I love the cold card. It's my most recommended device. But they send you this. They send you this wallet backup card here. And most people are like, okay, well, I powered it on. I wrote down my words. I got my anti-phishing code words, whatever the hell that means. And I should be good to go. But that's really just the beginning of it. That's like the very first step. You haven't even got into the game yet. And the first thing that I would do, and I was going to save this for the course, but I figured it's probably a better idea right now. But the first thing I would do is this. Get rid of this, because the only time that I've ever seen anybody lose their Bitcoin is because they put their 12 words on this and they lost it. And this is a key to your Bitcoin here. So if somebody's cleaning up your desk, or you're cleaning up your desk, and it actually falls in the trash, or what, it gets water damage, or whatever it is, this is one of your keys to your Bitcoin. So you want to put that on steel or something, right? But that's just like one component of it too. Even on steel, that's not going to save you. So the biggest mistake that people make, and the reason why steel is not going to save you, is because those words, those 12 or 24 words, are written in plain text. And that's one of your keys to your Bitcoin, which means that if somebody finds that piece of steel, even if it survives a fire somehow, somebody finds that piece of steel, they have your 12 words, they put it into a wallet, they send the Bitcoin to themselves, your Bitcoin's gone. So you want to have this in one spot. You want to have your steel plate or your 12 words in a different spot, and you want to have a passphrase in a different spot. So this is kind of what this course is going to start with. Very simple triangle there. Obviously, we're going to get into a multi-sig later, but that's kind of like the first step for people is getting away from that. And I think that most Bitcoiners, that's the setup, right? And consider this too. You got this, and you got your 12 words in your house. What if there's a hurricane? What if there's a tornado? What if there's a fire? And it's part of the 6 questions we're going to ask today, but you really want to get those keys away from your house. That's kind of like the intangible part of this, is you're going to have all your Bitcoin away from your house. You maybe keep like 5 or 10% of it with you for multiple reasons, but the majority of it is going to be far away from your house. You want it difficult for you to access, and therefore very difficult for anybody else to access, which is going to protect you against wrench attacks. It's going to protect you against social engineering attacks. And mostly it's going to help you sleep better at night, knowing that there's no single point of failure in your setup. If you only knew how valuable what you're holding right now is, I think people would think a lot differently about this whole thing. So that's kind of like the key to this. And it's going to take some time. Maybe we spend a couple weeks on multi-sig, but we're going to build up to that. We're going to get things in place first, and we're going to build up to the multi-sig. So you're also going to have an inheritance plan too. Right off the hop, you're going to have a very basic inheritance plan where if something were to happen to you tomorrow, your family would be able to recover your Bitcoin. By the end of the course, we're going to have a more detailed, more in-depth, more robust inheritance plan. We're going to work up to that too. So you start with one, very simply, to make sure that if something were to unexpectedly happen to you, your family can recover it. Then we're going to make it a little bit more robust by the end of the course, but we're going to work to it. You're going to have a full blueprint of where things are, take inventory of where you are and where you want to go, and then how to get there. You're going to have a Bitcoin cheat sheet that you can always refer back to. You can study it like it sits at the side of your bed every night. So it's like 10 points. And if you can do those 10 points properly, your Bitcoin is going to be much safer than 99% of everybody else. So that's the Bitcoin cheat sheet. You also get into a private group chat, which I haven't really formally announced yet, but that's something we're going to be doing. So all the students who are going through this course here are going to be in their own private group chat where they can ask questions with me. They can share ideas. They can share concerns. They can have discussions privately, encrypted conversations. So all the students who are going through this course, if they want to, they can be part of this group chat that we have on Signal. If you're somebody who's trying to learn, somebody who's just kind of getting started in Bitcoin, this community here on School, you're going to have unlimited Bitcoin content. You could probably watch content for the rest of the year and still have half of it to go. So there's a ton. There's 365 videos from last year, 365 days of Bitcoin. There's 106, I believe, from this year. And there's other courses in there as well. So there's about 500 videos altogether. So if you're somebody who loves consuming Bitcoin content on a variety of topics, then you're going to have that included with this. Multiple streams of income. So again, kind of this course, obviously we want to focus on the technical side of things. We want to make sure that you have a good understanding what you're holding, grow your conviction, grow your knowledge, so you're much less emotional. But there's going to be other focuses too, because you want to continue to add value to this world. That's what Bitcoin is. It's a store of value. It's one of its properties. So the key here is that you want to make sure that you have your Bitcoin stack and that number never goes down. That balance only goes up. So you're never going to be forced to sell. You're never going to be in a situation where you need to liquidate your Bitcoin. We're going to talk about techniques and strategies and tips. And actually at the end of every episode here, this is kind of a bonus, but we're going to spend 30 minutes each session focused on this because this is important. If you don't have any value to store, then this isn't really relevant to you. So you got your Bitcoin, you want that balance to go up, and we're going to spend time, whether you're thinking about leaving your job or you're looking for a couple side hustles, whatever that is, we're going to spend 30 minutes each session talking about how you can do that. You want to become a Bitcoin educator, maybe. Tons of opportunity. I'd say there's more opportunity in that than anything else in the world right now. So we're going to talk about that. How do you do it? What do you need? Some tips, some strategies, what works, what doesn't work. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I was a CPA before this, as I'm sure most people know, but I've learned a lot. And kind of the whole value part of this course is I've gone through it. I've put in the time, I've spent the money, I've lost the sats. Doing all of this so that you don't have to. That's the real value add here. Again, going back to the cost, $200 for the year. And what you're going to get back from it is going to be exponentially higher here, which you can see at the bottom. Like, I'm so convinced that the discrepancy between what you're paying versus what you're getting is so large that I'm going to provide a 100% sat back guarantee, which means there's zero risk to you. If you pay for this course and you're not satisfied with it, no questions asked, I will send you back your entire membership fee in sats. You paid in fiat, I'll send it back in sats. That's how confident I am that the value that you receive from this course is going to be way, way, way more than what you pay for it. And that's how it should be, I think. You're also going to get an annual maintenance schedule. So again, it's easy to set up. It's easy to watch a half-an-hour video on how to set up your cold card. But what do you do? What else do you need to do? Do you have to do something every month? Do you have to do something every 6 months? Every year? So this is going to be an annual maintenance schedule that all the students are going to have a copy of that you can always refer back to. You got earning potential within the community. So as this Visionaries community grows, we're going to be looking for different roles. And it's obviously all going to be paid in Bitcoin, but it's going to be for members because they're already interested. They're already invested in this. They've already put in the proof of work. So there's going to be earning potential within the community, optional. There's going to be private support. So there's going to be a higher tier where if you want to have a little bit more than what everybody else is getting in terms of like some one-on-one time with me, it's going to be pretty discounted, I'd say. Which also includes this. There's going to be an option for a physical backup of your keys. So I'm kind of working on something right now where if you don't have anybody in your life that you can trust, we're going to have a solution to that. Again, it's going to be optional. It's going to be additional to this, but it's only going to be for members of this course. And a private Bitcoin node. We kind of took this from the Maple community here, the Maple community, where we have a Bitcoin node that members are allowed to sync up with, connect to. So you're not relying on Blockstream's node or Luke's node or the Electrum node. You have somebody in the community that you can connect to. So all your transactions are going to be more private. So privacy is a big part of this course. Privacy is a massive part of this course. We're going to be talking about many different tools, VPNs, exchanges to become more private. That's the almanac part of the course. So that's the tangibles, and this is the intangibles. So you're going to get weekly support. It's going to be constant repetition. You're going to have greater conviction. You're going to have greater confidence. You're going to have a sense of community. You're going to have a sense of comfort, helping you sleep better at night. And you're going to have a brand new mindset. Like that's a big part of being a Bitcoiner is a different mindset. We have this fiat brain because we've been born into it. We spent our whole life in the fiat system. And so at the end of this course, you're going to have a much different mindset, which is arguably the most important part of this. So again, we're going to focus on a bunch of different things here. This isn't just going to be technical. Of course, it's going to be a part of it, but you're going to get the technical side of things. You're going to get the mindset. You're going to get the tangibles. and you're going to learn how to make more money, which is kind of crazy that this is kind of part of this course, but it all ties together. Learn how to become more valuable and, in a sense, make more money, earn more sats that you need to be protecting. But also, probably the most important part of this is learn to enjoy life. A lot of Bitcoiners out there, they're kind of racing. They're racing to accumulate, which is good. They're looking at the price every day. They're wondering when they can retire. And they're kind of putting everything off until it gets to that point. But we don't have a very long time here on Earth. It's very short. And so it's great. One thing I've noticed about Bitcoiners that we all have in common is that we're very unselfish. Everybody says, I want Bitcoin so that my kids have this. I want Bitcoin so that my grandkids have this. But you got to be a little bit more selfish here, because the only thing that really, really matters is how much you enjoy yourself while you're here. And so obviously you want to get as much as you can. You want to protect it as much as you can, but you also want to enjoy life as much as you can. And so again, through weekly sessions, through constant repetition, through a brand new mindset, this is kind of all going to tie together in this one course. So where's it going to happen? It's all going to happen on School. We have the ability to set up a show in there so you can join. It's going to be about an hour and a half each week. And you can connect in there. You can turn on your camera. You can turn on your microphone. You can be part of the whole session. A little bit different than just being in the comment section in a live chat. So it's going to be a full-on experience, like an actual school. So school.com/88 sats. It's all run through School. There's going to be no Zooms. There's going to be no YouTube, private email shit. And that's really why I did the show on YouTube today, because I don't need to be collecting your emails. I could have done a seminar where everybody had to sign up with their email and I would bother you for the next 6 months to join this course. I'm going to explain the benefits to you, but I'm never going to sell this to you. You know in your heart whether or not you need this course. So I figured I would just do it on YouTube. I don't need to be bugging you. If it's not the right time for you, that's okay. But if you have that feeling in your heart, in your gut, whatever you want to call it, then join us. It's going to be weekly. So again, we're going to be doing about 90-minute sessions on Tuesdays. Going to be live. You can join again. You can join with your camera. If you don't want to, you can just turn your microphone on, or you can just hang out and watch. It doesn't matter. And all sessions will be recorded and posted. So how to join? Again, you just go to school.com/88 sats. You're probably going to want to join the next couple of days, because again, I'm going to start increasing the price as this course starts. Every 5 members that join, we're going to raise the price. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go to it. We're actually going to go into. We're going to go into this nice little slide deck I got for you. I'm pretty proud of this. This is my first slide deck that I built. So here it is. Here it is. This is the engineering a generational legacy. So these are the 6 questions that you're going to be asking yourself and that we're going to be going through in this course. This is just kind of a sneak peek, but it should get you thinking about things. So building and securing the digital homestead. Hopefully everybody can see this okay. But we're shifting the posture. We're shifting the mindset from paranoia to actual architecture, right? Like you got to be thinking very far out with this stuff. Again, we focus on what's right in front of us, but we also need to prepare and plan for 500 years down the road, because that's what Bitcoin's built for. Bitcoin's like buying, as Saylor said, land in London in 1600. That's where we are right now. We're first generation Bitcoiners. We're the ones building the foundation. We're the ones who hopefully will benefit the most from this. Well, shouldn't say that, but we get to go through it. It's kind of cool. But we're the architects here. That's what we need to switch to. We don't need to be scared. We just need to set things up properly. And so you have the mindset here is paranoia and isolation for the defensive hold, reacting to attacks. The vocabularies are threats, bunkers, fortresses, and the outcome is a fragile system that break under pressure or lockout airs. So fragile systems that either, if you haven't done them properly, they're easily hacked, easily accessible, or you overcomplicate it. You make things too complex where something happens to you and your family can't actually access your Bitcoin. So that's what we want to move from. And we want to move to the homestead builder, which is a mindset of sovereignty and permanence. We're engineering robust and enduring systems built to last. We're focusing on the bedrock, the blueprints, the silos, and the succession. And the outcome is going to be a resilient digital estate designed to outlast its creator and yield a generational harvest. Love this slide. Absolutely love this slide. And again, think about this. Just think about this logically. Is this something that you could do in 2 hours and pay somebody $2,000 to help you with? Or is this something that you really need to think through, that you really need to take time and understand so that you can do things properly? And that's why this course is 8 months. We could have made it 8 weeks easily, but you have to take the right approach to this. And this is something that takes a lot of time to truly understand. And so that's why this course is the way it is. So here's the 8 pillars. We got the land grant, kind of the establishment part is the land grant, the claiming sovereignty, design the architecture, which is the blueprint, and anchoring to absolute mathematical truth, which is the bedrock. So this is kind of like the first part, the pillars 1 to 3. Every session that we do is going to be focused on one of these 8 things: the land grant, the blueprint, the bedrock, the almanac, your privacy, the forge, the tools, the silo, the multi-sig, the harvest, earning more, and the succession, your inheritance. Then we go to operations, the pillars 4 to 6, documenting the truth, the almanac, privately, shaping the tools, the forge, and securing the vaults, the silo. And then the last part here is your legacy. Reaping the economic energy, the harvest, and executing the generational transfer, the succession. So that's the 8 pillars. Every session that we do is going to focus on one of these 8 things. So one of the most important ones here, I kind of focused on 2. It should be 3. Succession should be part of this, but we kind of focused on 2 here. Pillar 2, which is assessing the terrain, which is basically like seeing where you are, taking inventory of where you are. So before you start pouring concrete, you map out the landscape. You understand exactly what digital property is being held and how you need to be thinking about it, how you need to be treating it, its operational requirements. And then you start drafting. You design the security protocols based on what you have, based on what's available, based on the terrain. You define the hardware, the geographic distribution of the assets, and the legal structures required to protect your legacy, your estate. So the cool thing about this is we talked about the forge, we talked about the hardware, the tools. The cool thing about this course is I'm completely free to talk about whatever I want. There's no company that's paying me to do this course. There's no sponsors on this channel, which are going to be influencing my direction. In fact, the tool that I recommend here, we already talked about, one of the tools is probably the worst referral program in Bitcoin. You just get store credit to CoinKite. So I love CoinKite. They got the best product, but they got shitty backup cards and they got a shitty referral program. So there's no sponsors. There's no sort of influence that way. We're going to focus on the best, because when we're talking about the best asset here in human history, you want the best tools to protect it. Step 3 is building in the redundancy. So constant repetition, redundant backups. If something happens to one thing, you got 2 other things there. If something happens to one location, you got other places you can go to restore your Bitcoin. So building in redundancy. A proper blueprint assumes failure points and engineers around them, ensuring the structure stands even if one pillar cracks, which means you eliminate your single points of failure. That's the whole point. And this is the other one here. This is what we're working towards. So we got the silo, the multi-sig. The silo operates on a 2 of 3 or 3 of 5 structural logic. A single key cannot breach the silo. So if you got 12 words in one location, somebody finds those 12 words, they can't do anything with it. If something happens to that location, that those 12 words are being stored, or that device is being stored, doesn't matter. That's just one key. You have 2 more, or you have 4 more. So if one key is destroyed in a fire or seized by an adversary, the structural integrity of the silo remains uncompromised. The harvest inside remains secure. I love this. I love the theme with this because it's just such a good way to think about it. So here we go. This is our homestead resilience drill. This is what I want everybody to pay attention to here. And if you want to write them down, you can. But we're going to be going through this again in like episode 1, 2, or 3 of the course. But for everybody out there, I didn't want this just to be a sales pitch. Again, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. You know if you need this or you don't. I'm trying to explain what it is. And I want to add some value too, because you're taking your time to watch this today. And so this is going to be extremely valuable for getting you thinking about where you're at. So the first one here, these are the drills. So the first one is your inheritance drill. The scenario. You pass away today. You're on your way to work, or on your way home for work, or on your way to meet a client. Car passes the road, crosses the line, you're gone. So that's the scenario. Instruct your next of kin, your spouse or your kids or whoever, to retrieve your digital assets. So the constraint here, obviously this is a hypothetical scenario. Hopefully nobody actually dies today. But the constraint here is that they are only allowed to use the information they possess right now. No new notes, no questions, no head nods, no instructions at all. They have to restore your Bitcoin based on the information that they have today. So that's the first part here. So without you to guide them, does the succession architecture hold, or is the harvest locked in the silo forever? How freaking cool is this? So that's the first question. I guarantee that 99% of people watching this right now and later would fail that. And that's like the first one. That's the softball here, the easy one. So the next one here, scorched earth. So the scenario is pretend your phone. Oh, this is even, it's just scary to think about this stuff right now. And I know people watching this are like, shit, I need to do something here. Pretend your phone, your PC, and every single item in your home and office are completely destroyed. So these questions, I forgot to mention off the hop here, but I want to give a shout out to Mike. Mike gave these 6 questions to me, one of the guys in the community, and said, we need to be focused on this. These are very important things that most Bitcoiners are completely missing. So the scenario here, pretend your phone, PC, and every single item in your home has been destroyed. So the constraint, you got no use to your phone. You have no access to your home, and you have no access to existing paper or notes or anything on the premise. So the recovery here is you need to initiate the geographic redundancy protocol, retrieve your assets entirely from distributed offsite components. So again, the whole point of this is we want to move the Bitcoin away from you. You want to remove that single point of failure. It's funny. I'm watching the numbers here on YouTube just dropping because people are like, it's so crazy to me. People just like, they'd rather not think about this than actually take action. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. But anyways, I mean, you got to learn. You'll learn the hard way, or you'll get things protected here. So that's scenario number 2. Scenario number 3 is the perimeter breach drill. So this is a really good one to think about. 2 or more armed attackers are at your main premise. They have disabled all means of calling for help. They know you have a safe and they will find it. So what are you going to do in this? What are you going to do in this situation? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about it more than one time? Do you actually have a plan? 2 armed attackers are at your house. They have disabled all the means. They cut off your communications. They know you have a safe. And one of the big tips in this course is actually not to keep your private keys in your safe for that reason. So they threaten violence and directly force compliance. So what do you do? What do you say? Where's your Bitcoin? Where are you going to take them to? Like, you just have to think about this stuff right now. Just imagine somebody breaks in your house right now. They say, give me your Bitcoin, give me your private keys. What do you do? What do you say? Where do you take them to? What Bitcoin will be exposed? Do you have decoys? Do you have the majority off-site? Do you have a small balance at your house that you can give to them as like a take it and go? And so what exact assets can they physically extract? How many private keys do you have lying around your house? And does your silo architecture ensure that a local physical breach yields minimal capital while protecting the core treasury there? So again, you can have 5 or 10% of your Bitcoin at your house. The rest of it should be away from it. And that's what we're designing here. That's what we're building. Next one here. Over a period of 3 weeks, you suffer from illness, amnesia, dementia, or extreme trauma. So you get sick or you get hit by a bus, all your memory's gone. You forget entirely how your storage system operates. Again, scary as hell. Hopefully highly unlikely for most people here, but definitely not zero chance. Definitely not zero chance. So how do your loved ones or your living assistants reliably rebuild and comprehend your storage architecture to care for you? So kind of going back to the original part of this is like, you can make your security setup as complex as possible, but it's not going to help with things like this. It's going to basically ensure that your family does not get your Bitcoin. So you really need to focus on simplicity and being as robust as possible. So this is a scary one. Next one here, the inspection drill. You are labeled a political enemy, accused of misinformation or a crime. The state secures a search warrant for your house, office, bank, and safe deposit box. The constraint here is assume agents successfully find a 12 or 24 word passphrase on your premise. So if they found that, would they be able to sweep all your Bitcoin, or is it just a chunk of it? Can a single agent sweep your entire life's work with that one piece of information? Again, most people watching now and later, the answer to that would be yes. And the political enemy, the accused of misinformation or the crimes, the goalposts are always moving there. They're moving every single day here. So how do you know? How do you know what's going to be labeled a crime or misinformation or whatever in the future? So the last one here is the midnight mitigation drill, or sorry, midnight migration. So you gotta leave. Extreme turmoil strikes your country. You have exactly 24 hours to pack your bags and flee across the borders. The constraint is that the banks and safety deposit locations are shuttered. You will never be able to return to your home country. Can you transport your wealth silently across borders and reliably access your digital harvest in a new jurisdiction? This is probably the hardest one. This is the hardest one. And you might not have all of these perfectly solved, but you need to ask these questions and you need to start working towards the solutions. So now we know what we have to do. And basically these next 8 months here, everything that we talk about are going to get us into a position where all 6 of these drills, you will comfortably be able to do this. And again, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going to guess that like 99%, I keep saying 99 because I think that the amount is very high. 99% of people might not even pass one of these tests. Do you know how scary that is? We look at the price, we get excited about it. We look at people buying, we get excited about it. We look at how many individuals just like us, just like me, just like you own Bitcoin. We get excited about it. But we're all taking this for granted. We're all focusing on the wrong things. The only thing that matters right now is setting this up. Because if you don't do it properly and one of these 6 things happen, there's probably 6 more we could think of. But these are kind of like the core 6. It's gone. So we got the drills, we got the threat vectors, and then we want to build the mechanism into it. So that's whether it's a multi-sig, whether it's geographically distributed keys, whether it's decoy wallets, passphrases, redundancy, backups, 2 of 3 brain wallets or globally distributed keys. That's what we're focused on here. That's what we're building. So I really like this. True sovereignty is measured by what you hold today. And I think that that's what people get wrong. I think people look at their Bitcoin balance, they're like, oh shit, I'm good. My family's good forever. But it's measured by what you can build, secure, and what you can pass down. So you engineer the blueprint, you construct the silo, you build it, and you secure your legacy. And that's scary. It's scary. And the reason why that stuck out to me, the reason why I thought we could bring it into this course is because when I first read those 6 questions, I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit. I talk about Bitcoin every day. My life's work is Bitcoin security. And I would have failed some of those tests. I still would today. And that's the whole thing here, right? Like, we're going to build this whole thing together. We're going through this whole thing together. This isn't just going to be me telling you and preaching to you what you need to do. We're thinking about this stuff. And that's why having the community, having the signal group, having all this stuff is going to be the support that you need to kind of build this whole thing. So it's horrifying, truly is. So again, hope you join us. This is episode 0. We're going to start episode number 1. The first week is going to be next week on school. It's not going to be on YouTube. And so you can join by going to school.com/88sats. School.com/88sats. You can't miss it. I'll link it below, but it's very easy to find. I don't think anybody hopefully can screw that up. Marco says, a member of the community said, the hardest thing for you to explain, Jor, is how good this community is. Well, there you go. That's a pretty good way to end it, I'd say. So again, we got 200. How many people are in there right now? You can join for free. You can be part of the community using that link. But you should consider joining as a premium member because that's what's going to get access to the course. So just one more time here. One more time through. No, just kidding. So it's $21 a month to join. It's going to be an 8-month course. You can stick around if you want to, or you can leave. So which is less than $200. Again, kind of laughable to me, but it's the first run through of it. We're going to do this next year. We're going to do it the year after. This is going to be the course that you want to go through to make sure that your Bitcoin's safe. It is. And so the first one is going to be the cheapest one. We're going to raise the price every week probably as more people join. So you want to get in earlier. That's how it's always been with these communities. It's how it's always going to be. But the other part too is there's 0 risk to you. 0 risk. You join, you're not completely satisfied. You get 100% back. No questions asked. Again, that's how confident I am that the things we're going to be talking about, the questions we're going to be asking, this community, part of it, big part of it, the discrepancy there between what you're paying to be in here and what you're getting back from it is very wide. We have a 98% retention for the people who have signed up. I don't know how many communities on school have a 98% retention, but it's not many. And that just shows how much value you get from being a member in there, of how few people leave the community. So thank you, Marco. I appreciate that. That's a good way to end it. So yeah, you want to join probably before the first course, but if you're watching this after, you can always catch up. All these sessions are going to be recorded. We hope that you show up every weekend as part of the sessions. And that's it. So I'm not going to end the episode here yet, but I'm going to end this kind of part of it. And so school.com/88sats. If you have any questions, again, you can email me, you can leave a comment, or you can join for free and check it out yourself. And then you can always upgrade after. but it's that's the email. And then the course is 88 Sats School right here. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully that made you think a little bit differently, asking yourself some questions, because that's the main thing. You just need to think about it. Most people don't. Most people, it's crazy, but most people just don't think. And the more thinking you can do, the more planning you can do, the more visualization you can do, it's all going to come full circle here, and make sure that your Bitcoin's safe, and everything that you've worked for in your life up until this point can be passed on to your kids and their kids. So that's it. You can always increase your Bitcoin security. Going back to Cody Johnson here, that song, Till You Can't. You can always improve it. You can always set up a multi-sig. You can always get a cold card. You can always sign up for a course. Till you can't. And life is very, very unexpected. So you want to take action. That's kind of the key thing here. 2026, you take 8 months of your life, very minimal amount of investment, financially wise, financially speaking, but it takes time. That's probably the biggest downside to this course, is it takes time. It's repetition, it's weekly, and it's just having to think and prepare and take action. So hope you join us. I really do, because it's going to be one heck of a course. Okay, so I'm going to get through some questions here now. That was a lot. I don't even know how long that was, but hopefully you got something from it. Even if you don't end up joining the course, I hope you got something from that today. How good was that? How good was that slide deck? Shout out to Forrest. He was the one that told me to start using that. Shout out to our guy, Forrest. Okay. So what's going on Zapstream right now? Any action over there? We're going to get through some Q&A. Mark, 65 sats, zapped 1650. Says, have a great day. Thanks, Mark. Oh, I got a meeting right away. Shit. Oh, we got time. We got time. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. What else we got here? We got some questions from YouTube, and okay, we're still talking about tacos. Don't know who that is. Mark Carney will tell you just got to pay more taxes, and then you can fix the climate change. Doge bought 1 Bitcoin a day. I don't know what that means. Where is Sharon B? Where is Sharon? She'll be going through the course. Young guy was like 25. I said to hold the Bitcoin for at least 10 years. Good man. Ginger says, good morning. Feels good to be on Rumble. Was watching my youngest this morning. Only have YouTube in the house. I was wondering, Ginger, but good to see you back. I'm trying to have 1 Bitcoin per child. I believe you're the one who offered that advice. Sounds like me. Yeah, there's so many different things to go through with this. That's what I'm saying. Like the value proposition is crazy. Like what you're going to learn being part of this community is going to literally change the direction of your life. I'm serious. Not just because your Bitcoin's better secure, but the people that you meet, the difference in your thinking and the way you think about work and value and creating, all these different things. Ebony Green, good morning. Praetorian says, Jor, I was reading a book and it gave a hypo of block 4 million. A hypothetical block 4 million. It compared 20 million sats to 200 million cuckbucks. That's what I mean. Like, what is that? We'll hit 1 million block after 18 years. So that's like in 60 years. 0.2 of a Bitcoin is going to be worth $200 million. It's purchasing power. Not like, wow, I believe that. I truly believe that. Peacemaker, I'm truly grateful you're here doing this work, sharing your knowledge to help us find peace and happiness in living and learning. EJ, Fuller, sign me up. You got to sign yourself up. School.com/88 sats. Very easy to do. 3696 Zap was from me, Drew. I thought it would show in the Riz fall. No, sorry, Paulo, it wasn't, but thank you. Paulo 3696. Thank you, brother. Sin Diesel's here. Sin Deezy, the man himself. Good morning. But yes, thank you for this comment, Marco. That came at the perfect time. Cheers, Bobo. Tony says, this is the stuff that keeps me up at night. That's what I mean. Like, that's how this whole thing came to be. Was I was literally laying in bed and thinking through all the different scenarios, where things are, what could go wrong. And then I just started exploring, and I found solutions, and I found people, and I found community, and designed this course based around that. Again, going back to I think the most important person this applies to is somebody out there who thinks they know they got everything secured, but they really haven't spent that much time thinking about it. Because again, you can pay a company out there $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to help you set up a cold card and start running a node and set up a passphrase. But it's useless without actual knowledge and understanding and thinking through these different scenarios. Those 6 scenarios there, I guarantee some of this stuff people have paid for might cover 1 or 2 of them, maybe. So it's not about how much you pay for it. It's how much you're thinking about it, how much time you've invested into thinking about it. And that's what this course is. Duncan said, really looking forward to this course. Me too. Me too. Kachuk, do I get access to this course? Just asking. I'm pretty sure you will. I'd have to double check that. I'm pretty sure you do, though. Okay. So that's it. That's it. That's all. I mean, I shouldn't say that's it. We've been here for 2 hours. And so Tuesday shows are going to be a lot shorter now because we're going to be doing this afterwards. But yeah. Did I miss anything else? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm actually going to cut YouTube off here. So YouTube, we're going to hop over to the other part here. And I'm going to carry on for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to call it a day because we got our BTC Mastermind coming up in about an hour from now. Or hour and a half, I guess. I got to do a meeting. I got to eat some lunch. And make sure you go over there and subscribe to BTC Mastermind. We're back today in 1 hour and 52 minutes. So thank you, YouTube, again. Hope you join us. I'm not going to tell you to, but you know yourself in your gut whether or not this would be a good investment of your time and money. So thanks, YouTube. We'll talk to you tomorrow or in an hour and a bit from now.